We started our great, wonderful celebration of Easter last night at the vigil. And a couple things that pop out of that part of our celebration of Easter is a couple of things. First, there's fire. We light the fire. We ignite the new fire, the new light that has come into the world. And we're supposed to, gosh, there's more light. Am I allowing the light to actually come to me and in my heart and in my soul? And it's not always easy. We live in a very difficult world. And we know that. I mean, we've all had different things happen to us, both personally, communally, into the whole country, the whole world. Those things are there. And it's hard to see the light. It's hard to see that new way of looking at things. And, it's kind of reminds me of something that happened about 19 centuries before. I was not at that particular time, okay? But St. Patrick walked up to the top of Hill Slane. The Druid king said, you cannot have any fires burning on Easter until I light my fire. It wasn't about anything to do with Christ or anything. And Patrick, on top of Hill Slane, lit a fire. He stood up to the ruling people and said, the fire of Christ comes first. Well, that's nice, Monsignor. That was 19 centuries ago. But I don't know how many of you heard the news that the White House has decided that on the Easter egg hunt, and they would have a contest of which looked the best, etc. You cannot have any religious symbol to be considered for the prize. Just wrote off the whole thing. This is a religious holiday. And see, that's how it starts. That's how darkness starts. Little by little. That's how the evil one works. Just a little bit here, a little bit there. It's not all so bad. People do things worse than I do. And, he encourages that. Jesus brought a new fire, a new light. And we're challenged by God to follow that light, not the dim light of the world, but of the bright, burning fire of the heavenly kingdom. And that means we have to do something about this. We have to be bold and brash and out there talking. And the other great symbol is water. If you were here last night, we had 26 people join the church, either through baptism or a profession of faith, and they all got confirmed. So this water, that cleanses, that cleans us, the waters of baptism. And so, we have that great gift of God. And we know that when we read the scriptures, there's a lot of evidence of the resurrection. And that's especially in today's gospel. Mary of Magdala is running there to anoint the body, which would be a typical custom to do in those days. And there's nothing there. But that's not true. There's evidence in the very writing of the gospel of the reality of the resurrection. They go in and they say, the cloths are still there. You know, if somebody was going to steal the body, you just run in, grab the body. You don't worry about taking off the linen cloths or the one that was around his head. They're not going to do that. Thieves are just going to grab the body, cloth and all, and take the body away. That's what would have happened normally, but it's not. That's not there. The body's not there, but the cloths are still there. It's a bit of evidence that Christ really did rise from the dead. One of the things that you might want to do this week is to look up the Shroud of Turin and study a little bit about that. It's absolutely amazing. And when they first took a picture of it in the 1800s, they found out that it just all of a sudden, a negative of a negative. And the photographer said, where did all these things show? And we begin to see that. And back in the 1970s, they actually did a lot more testing and figured out how did this image get on these cloths? And you know, it wasn't painted on. When you paint something on, it soaks into the fabric. It's what it does. But that's not what you see with all these modern ways of looking at things and photography. And the only thing that they can come up with, people have tried to replicate that kind of a thing, is it was some kind of burst of energy. Because those things, those little marks, they're on top of it. Blood would have soaked down in, but they're on top of it. And just read about the Shroud of Turin. It's just absolutely amazing. We know, we have the evidence that Jesus rose from the dead. So we can have confidence in turning on the fire, of washing out our sins, of being brave and just out there, just saying, God is real. Jesus is real. He rose from the dead. And if he had not risen from the dead, our worship is absolutely useless. Our coming here to worship would be useless if Jesus had not risen from the dead. People have tried for 2,000 years to wish it away. But God will not be washed away. So let us in this Easter, which I just love the Triduum and the Easter Sunday. I mean, look at how many people are here. It's absolutely marvelous. I love it. I love it. But also, there's a tear in my eye, a sadness. This is what this Mass should have in population every Sunday, not just Easter. It's always sad for priests. So let us say, wait a minute, I have the light. I've been washed clean in baptism. We have the evidence that Jesus rose from the dead. So really put our energy in living that what we know, not just once in a while. And I would encourage you to treat yourselves this afternoon to two pieces of music. One is Exultate Jubilate. It's by Mozart, and it's just a beautiful piece of music, Exultate Jubilate. And the other one is the Gustav Mahler's second symphony. It's called the Resurrection Symphony. And if you go to Make sure when you look it up on the internet, make sure you go to someplace like the Proms. It's a series of concerts in England, because it has the words of, because it's in German. If you speak German, you don't have to do that, but I don't speak German, except Oktoberfest. I mean that's kind of a German thing, you know. But and by the way, when you listen to this music, this Symphony Number 2, if you have the volume less than 8.5, you've committed a mortal sin. It is absolutely probably the most beautiful piece of music that has ever been written, I think. And just watch it and see the words about the resurrection symphony. And what a joy it is. Just absolutely magnificent. So let this Easter, let us fill our hearts and our words with the fire, the light of truth. We've been washed clean. Let us be like Patrick and so many other the saints who stand up for those who deny, to speak the truth, to walk the truth, to pray the truth.